I like Andrew. Andrew's a nice guy. He gives us a challenge, and the challenge is he suggests that we are just responding to the easy surface level stuff, and in some ways he's right. Yeah, that's the point of this show, is to respond. Actually, the initial point was to respond to some of the most obvious, glaring heresies of the Hebrew roots movement. And now, since we started over the past 11,
it down.
Years,
or was it first 2 or 3 years? The first 200 shows.
Yeah,
I think it was 4 years. Rob and Caleb's show. Yeah, we were.
We've moved essentially to a little bit more of answering questions from, what does the Torah perspective think of this? Is kind of what this show has moved to.
Yeah, that's voicemails, emails, comments.
Yeah,
which is feedback from listeners, right?
And so now I'm going to give you the example that Andrew gives us. So he says, these guys aren't dealing with the difficult, arguments from their opponents, people like me or R.L. Solberg. Well, first of all, I have been on Andrew's YouTube channel. I went on an interview, and then he came onto my YouTube channel. So I don't understand how I'm not responding or interacting with him and his quote unquote difficult arguments. Or he didn't. I shouldn't say that. He didn't say difficult argument, but anyway, like the meatier arguments. R.L. Solberg got absolutely crushed by David Wilbur in his debate, and so I mean, once again, these aren't arguments that are like scary or that most of the arguments that are being put forward have already been addressed by many people, including TorahResource, back in the 90s. But that's not. Let's just take the example that he gives. That I watched. Now, once again, I only watched the first half an hour. The example that he gives is Matthew 5:31 through 33, which is the bill of divorce, right? From the beginning, it was not so. And he says, oh, these guys are scared.
That's in chapter 19 also of Matthew.
Right. These guys are scared of the actual argument. They don't want to address, you can tell that Rob's scared by this. That's basically the tone of what is being said.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this guy,
yeah,
that's
okay.
A projection. I don't know where else he'd get that. I mean, I'd be happy to go through the Greek text with him. And
here's my point. Here's my point. Speaking of Greek text in Matthew 5:31, here's my point. This show stands on a giant foundation of work. The reason that we are surface level is because we say, and maybe we, I realized maybe Schumacher is doing us a favor here. Maybe we're not promoting our work enough. There is a giant body of work that we stand on. Now, Schumacher brings up Matthew 5:31 through 33. If he wanted to do his research, then he could just go to the 5-volume commentary found on TorahResource, open up volume 1, and go to that passage and realize that there are pages and pages dealing with that passage, line by line through Matthew, dealing with that passage, dealing with what it means, dealing with how people from a Torah perspective would handle that passage and look at that passage and view that passage. But Andrew didn't want to do that. Instead, he wants to simply say that we're scared by it. We're not scared by it. We've just already done the work on that. We stand on a body of work.
I watched the first half hour on normal speed. I don't understand, but I heard the same thing. It seems like repeatedly, the idea is that we're not dealing with, we're avoiding.
Right.
The sense I got is he's saying Rob and Caleb are over and over. All they do is avoid the difficult questions, and they just stay in a general, speak of generalities only. And that's why they're able to maintain that viewpoint, because they're avoiding the true specifics.
Right.
And like you're saying, I mean, we have a treasure basically in the commentaries of your father, Tim Hegg, Matthew, all the way through Matthew, right? Galatians.
Well, hang on. Let's do this because,
Hebrews, we have First,
by the way,
John.
I sent Andrew PDFs of my dad's commentary on Hebrews. Okay, now I haven't heard any response to those, but all Andrew had to do was say, "Hey, could you send me your dad's PDFs on the 5-volume commentary on the Book of Matthew?" And I would have said,
or even the commentary,
or even the commentary,
these verses on
and the answer would have been
19.
Yes, of course. But there was none of that. I mean, no offense. Look, I see Andrew as a friend and a brother in the Lord. But my response, and this may sound harsh, is that this video reeks of laziness. This is lazy. If you wanted to actually do the work, you would actually open up the work that we hundreds of hours, not just my father. Now, my father is the foundation that we stand on in terms of the scholarship that has gone before us. And the Word of God is the foundation that he stands on. And I think that it's pretty apparent that he has done a significant amount of work. So we stand on a foundation of scholarship. If you want to actually if you actually want to give us a challenge, you actually have to not be lazy yourself. And this is just lazy. You're just being lazy here. Let's just go through it. A 5-volume commentary on Matthew. We have a 2-volume commentary on Romans, a 2-volume commentary on Hebrews, a commentary on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, Philemon, James, Philippians, Galatians, Ephesians. The list keeps going on. Beyond that, by the way, beyond that, we have books like It Is Often Said, which deals with specific questions that have been posed by opponents of the Torah-keeping movement. How's about 10 Persistent Questions, Why We Keep Torah? Another book that deals with 10 of the most posed questions that are launched against the Torah movement from Paul's writings. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.